Yeah,
No.
it's there. Hindenburg base version.
Playable.
Yep,
Agree with that.
would agree.
Yeah, it's just it has its issues, but overall, like it's actually I'd say it's better at long range DD killing. So if you do hate DDs, it does help that. But you really need to have your aim on this ship, or you're not going to do much damage, and then BBs will just clap the crap out of you. It's just.
I would like to talk to anybody who shoots HE in this game, and please just switch over to AP and leave it there.
Yes, with Hindenburg. Never swap off of AP.
Yeah. Okay, I think we're good on that one. Let's talk about the good version of the Tricked Hindenburg. So we're going leg mod and hipper or sheer. What are we thinking?
Hipper.
Hipper. Okay, yeah, that's definitely okay. What are we thinking? Competitive. I've seen Part rip me apart in this thing, and I did not expect it.
The only thing that I have one problem with this, and it's the AA.
Yeah.
It was from the same thing with Henry. It's like the AA, like you get clapped off the bat. But that's the only thing that keeps it out of competitive for me. It's like high niche. Because as soon as there isn't a CV, you are going to wreak havoc.
I just see its DD killing potential just pulls it right out of niche. Just like Austin, it can almost, I think it's 3-tap, mostly a DD.
Yeah, I gotta give Hindenburg this. It has more team utility than Henri does in this regard. Like, you're never gonna go, like, I'm gonna hunt this DD in the middle of the map with Henri. No.
Okay,
Hindenburg is like, oh, you're 13 kilometers away, we just snipe you.
I would definitely say Tricked Hindenburg is above Henry for sure.
Yeah.
I'd say it barely fits in competitive. It pushes. It pushes into competitive, I think. Would you agree with that?
Tricked Hindenburg deserves to be in competitive because just like Des Moines, it's just under Buffalo.
Yeah.
You take Des Moines and Buffalo together. You get Des Moines and Hindenburg together and you get a Buffalo. Or tricked versions of them.
It had a baby and it grew up.
Yeah. It grew up all the guy. Alright. Shall we talk about the new guy on the block? That just got nerfed.
Meta? Like, just put it at the top?
Yeah. Pretty much. This thing is the king of light cruisers.
No, I would say Jinan is above Buffalo, though. Jinan is easier to play. Way easier to play than Buffalo.
Well, you got the fuel smoke to stay alive. You got a crap ton of torps, so if a battleship decides to be like, I'm going to mess you up, you're like, no, you're not. Have fun. And also, you do have good enough guns to really do everything, and like they're good. They are.
Yeah.
And so, you kind of have the same thing with Austin, except you have more what's the word I'm looking for? Consistent damage.
And also concealment damage. You can hide better.
Oh yeah.
And more consistently than Austin. Austin only has those 2 smokes, and those are emergency smokes. They aren't fuel smokes, which give you a nice 15 seconds of GTFO. So it's just a better Austin in terms of everything. But it's still Yeah. Yeah, I think we all agree with that one. That one, Jinan's just such a good ship. Let's talk about another new ship. Who has this ship?
Soulfire, I think, and that's it.
I have it.
Monster Man?
Have
it?
No, I'm gonna unlock it. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do the grind. I'm gonna hate myself for doing this. But
it's playable. Really? Okay,
no.
Well, it's playable for me.
I could see that. But the thing is that I believe it needs a reload buff.
Oh
That's
my
what
gosh.
It desperately needs.
Knock like 3 seconds off that. Knock like at least 3 seconds off that reload.
I'm thinking at least 2, and then now with the reload, it now can I think get 4 salvos off or something like that. So it's like it can do that's a good bursting damage. But this ship, it needs a reload buff and maybe an AA buff because dear lord, this thing can get wrecked.
Oh my god!
And its niche is hiding around islands, and I would love for it to join Henri. That's all I'm asking. Is just be a bursty, like instead of Henri, you go around the map. The Marseille is, this is my island. I like my island. If you come near it, fuck off. That's what I would want the Marseille to be. But it just...
It's screw off, but only for like 15 seconds. And then like, come join me on my island.
Yeah, but no, it's like I wish the Marseille had a better niche. It just doesn't. Everything it does, there is something that anyone can do better.
Yep. I will give you that. Sly needs fixing as well because, yeah, you can hit a DD hard too. But if you're sitting on an island, God forbid a Shimikaze gets up on an island. It's like,
Oh my
let me
goodness.
find you because you're not going to stop that.
No. And I know it has that unique ability, but the problem is that unique ability isn't really applicable. Like, you have to really strive to use that unique ability of holding them. For anyone who doesn't know, it's holding the button down for a considerable amount of time actually increases your accuracy, but that means you ripple fire, which can also cause, if it doesn't fire at the right time, because of camera shake, it causes a dispersion bug, which then now you clearly miss your shot.
Yeah. The recoil.
Yep.
Cool.
So, no. It's just not fun. Not fun.
At
Let's talk
least
about a good
2
ship.
seconds, it's not just a reload thing. It needs something else along with that 2 seconds. I just don't know what it is.
Yeah, I don't know yet either. That's true, but don't, like, even the grind, like, the Chervaux is okay. The Brest is mediocre at best, and that's a rough thing to say. Like, it's not as bad as the other grind in here for another ship that probably needs fixing. But let's talk about 2 really good ships in a row, everyone. What, you got one more? A little more?
Is it time to talk about the ship that's going to make Granddad make a Reddit post about us saying that we're idiots?
No, actually, Granddad changed my mind this morning. He found out where I was putting it, and he was like, "Oh no, you don't." Nope. I'm just gonna do it. I'm gonna do this right here. Right to meta. Minotaur.
Yeah,
I know the Jinan feels like it pushes out.
I want to. No, I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to
No,
say
go.
Okay.
Say it.
No.
Send it.
Okay, this thing is niche. If you do not have APCS, it is so hard to hit stuff. Okay, like, here's what I'm saying. Betty pushes it into meta. But if you do not have APCS, it is niche. If you have APCS, it is competitive. Change my mind. Go.
I think it's competitive as well.
I'm gonna put it in meta, and the only reason why is the way Granddad put it. Is I thought previously that my main thing was actually the Jinan just pushed it out.
Yeah, Jinan did push it.
Jinan, I felt like it did, but the way he also put it is they have 2 very distinct targets. The Jinan and Minotaur are not going after the same thing. Where Minotaur, you're going to be that stealthy DD when you're going against battleships and either put up in smoke, where APCS is not necessarily as needed as much as you think it is because you're going to be sitting in smoke so you can hit the battle and superstructure, everything like that. So you can snipe really well. Add in, it does have the square dispersion, which allows for that easily on the deck armor. But the Jinan goes after the battleships, while the Minotaur goes after the DDs. And with such a high DD meta right now, the Minotaur's maneuverability and everything that it offers, even without BD, is incredibly key and critical to winning the game in the meta right now.
Okay, so here's what I will say, and this is my argument.
Okay.
Out of those 3 ships, Mino is the hardest to play. Buffalo and Jinan are, I would say, 2 to 3 times easier to play than Mino, at least.
I'll agree with that.
There's Jinan, there's Minotaur, and then there's one ship we still have not added to meta that also kicks it out. You want a more gun-focused Minotaur? Oh, grab Smolensk. You want a more torp-focused Minotaur? Grab Jinan. Guess what? Both those 2 ships pushed out Minotaur. Because in a high DD meta, Smolensk is better. Because you can just gun them down easier. And you can also burn down battleships.
I'm sorry, Granddad. They're right. They just go right back to my original thing. It's like Jinan pushed it out. It is so good, but I will say I agree with you. If there's a tricked minnow in here, which maybe we should talk a little bit more, maybe that would.
It's so hard with Mino, but it would push meta if it had more torp range. That is the only thing keeping out of meta.
Which actually, I know the Nettie's Chinese announcement said that they were looking at another buff to the minnow.
Really?
Sweet. If they do that, that's fine. It'll be meta.
Yeah.
If they do that, like, I'm just gonna become a Mino main.
That's one of my biggest issues with it. The Jinan has super long range for torps, and Smolensk has longer range guns that can burn down battleships and hit DDs just as hard, if not harder.
True. I'm sorry, Granddad. I'm sorry. They got me. They got me. It's true. It's been pushed out. I'm gonna prevent it from being niche because this thing can do everything in a game, and the more skill you put into it, it sends it right up. In my opinion.
Yeah, it belongs.
I think without APCS, I was trying my butt off, and I was only getting 80k. But with APCS, it starts pushing those 90, 95 a lot easier.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna keep this in meta. I'm gonna keep this competitive. I'm gonna keep it.
Obviously, a skill level can bring it into meta, just like most of the other ships.
Maybe
so
we'll only get
Granddad-
half a thesis from Granddad.
Yeah. Granddad can still make the ship meta, but a lot of other people are not going to make it meta.
All right, now that we've talked about the Minnow, and Granddad's going to write half a thesis to us,
Yes.
Moskva. I'm going to do that.
Yeah. Yep.
I would say Moskva is. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just a good sniper. It does everything, and if you need radar to defend your battleships, done. You want good HE? Done. You want oddly good secondaries? Done. That's what I never understood. I never understood it. Why is the secondary so good?
All the Russian battle cruisers and Petro have good secondaries for some reason.
Oddly good secondaries, isn't it? Anything to add in there, Matt? It's just meta.
I would say it is better than Stalingrad because it is more versatile. But in competitive,
Yeah.
I would say Stalingrad is borderline better than Moskva.
It depends what you need, though. Are you wanting more support for your battleships, or are you just wanting more damage? Like, that's the whole damage versus support conversation again, right there.
Yeah, I think Moskva is slightly better than Stalingrad for the most part. But we also can talk about Tricked Moskva with the Makarov, which makes it even better.
You know, you guys should have told me you guys wanted more tricked icons. I would have put them in here.
I know we're ruining it for you.
Yeah, I know. I thought I planned this out. I like sent you guys all the notes, everything, but no.
You should have just made Tricked everything, and then like we would have just left the other ships.
Unfortunately, that would have been. There's so many ships that are tricked and they don't do much. So like, that's the
You
biggest
just have to
problem.
make more work for you, Fly.
Yeah, I know, right?
You
Yeah,
have to
just
make more work for editing Fly to put those in later.
yeah. You know, it's only like 400 icons that I made for this dang tier maker season.
Oh.
Hey.
You have to make 200 more. Look at that. You're welcome.